That's right. And yeah, no more vetoes, so this time they have to do what they get.
Both use of theirs, so I'm hoping about Kronos versus Kronos. It would be kind of fun. And there's the Kronos against Ra on Midgard.
Oh,
Yeah,
we've
well,
done that already on my side. Damn it.
if I were the Kronos, I probably wouldn't be that happy about this matchup. Because this
Yeah,
is...
it's not gonna be the easiest, that's for certain.
Yeah, Midgard is quite a good map for Egyptians. And especially
Uh,
not great for Atlanteans because of... Yeah, not really that
apologies
awesome.
to apologies to viewers. Had a bit of a hiccup with camera movement, but we're back. So in the east, we've got the Kronos player 022, and in the north, we've got the Ra player 487.
Yeah, just now, right now, looking off the bat at the rock placements, I'm not sure why they're actually doing this. They are hoping that actually they're gonna get better spawn on the patch maps, but apparently 764 is not lucky at all. But really on
No,
Midgard, you just go for the corners all the time, even if it's a bit more walk-in time, and you're gonna lose a few seconds, maybe even on the advance. It's, I think, just a
agree.
bit better.
If you don't see that fish immediately, you just turn and go. Although he did get lucky in the end, that's not so bad. He's got 4 fishing spots very close by.
Yeah, they were all trying, or rather both trying to bank on the fact that on the patch maps actually you are almost always having some fish in the middle, so you are having a pretty good chance of actually spotting that.
Now,
But
with
yeah,
that said, neither of them is at a reasonable advantage here. It's very similar with the fish for both of the players. There's one more on red side, but that's it really.
it actually seems to be pretty much the same. They are both having the one extra single in there, both.
Oh, they are. You're right, yeah.
And even a bit more right now for red, but we are just going to be waiting for a bit longer if maybe there's the second one for blue as well. In the meantime, not really anything interesting on the map so far, just a lot of gold in the middle being discovered, which of course is kind of usual. And for 0022, as the Kronos, I'm not exactly sure what's going to be his idea in this game. He should be probably trying to be aggressive.
I think with that gold placement, yeah, if he can arrive there before our Ra player advances to the classical age, he could be doing major damage by denying the gold.
It's probably going to be depending a lot on where the second and third town centers are for the Egyptian, I would be guessing.
That as well.
Because if they are both kinda backish, like close to water and not really into the middle, then going for the map control could be actually working. It's going to be always kinda hard for the Kronos against all the towers and whatnot in the base, but still. Still.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Kronos is going very, very heavily for food with not that much wood gathering, and he's immediately throwing down that temple. This
He's
could
actually
be a
crashing.
Kronos rush. Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely gonna be crashing. Let's hope. Well, let's see if he surprises his opponent. It's going to be all dependent on the fact if actually there are advances sometime soon, or if he goes for a bit later into second TC and whatnot.
Yeah, he has no information on this, so it's gonna be entirely a guess. Now, the temple placement is quite forward. It's gonna help a bit with protecting the gold mine, but deconstruct is almost certainly gonna be used there, and the temple is being shifted forward for a Kronos player. Unfortunately, however, not around the gold mine area.
I
So
actually
what
think
he'll do with that?
this is actually not a bad spot, because he has already scouted that there's a town center and a goal. So potentially, since he already sees the right side of the map, basically all the scouting around is red, because blue doesn't scout at all.
Right, so you're predicting a fast 2TC from our Ra.
Yeah, because he didn't find the second town center, so he's expecting it's going to be in the patch of darkness in the front, definitely, which makes it front. And this one at the back is the back TCs, which is the one that their Ra is actually gonna go for, I think. That seems to be the logic right now for the Kronos to me.
I don't disagree, but he also isn't getting a lot of gold right now, which is a bit confusing to me. There's a lot of wood gatherers, however, which sort of indicates more water-heavy play. And we'll see in any moment what god will be picked by the Ra. It's Ptah, so yeah, perhaps you're right.
Alright, so they're already coming into the next ages. Fairly standard ones, of course. Right now, Pharaoh coming into the forward. And right
There
now
it
the
is.
surprise comes in. And unfortunately, temple is actually nicely placed. Not sure if he positioned it that way on purpose.
Yeah, it will have
So
to be
that
deconstructed, but he's choosing to go for the tower instead, interestingly enough.
I was
Whoa.
just thinking actually if the temple was constructed this close because he expected that he might be under pressure pretty soon. So he wanted to actually lure the army next to the TC fire, which exactly worked quite fine.
Yeah. And taking out the houses actually isn't gonna do much. It's not gonna get him housed.
Yeah, not really, not really. He maybe thought that it could be. You can see already there are plenty of houses right now randomly placed
Oh
in
yeah.
there.
And way more are on the way. Now military academy has been made as well as 2 counter barracks.
Okay, so far he's
Keeping
going...
up all that production is not gonna be easy. He'll be needing some upgrades to do so.
And actually, since he's building them in his own base, so far not really even transporting them, because it will be costing him, of course, time on the army. I'm not exactly sure if he hasn't already basically lost the crash now. Because the second tower, that's going to be a bit too much for him.
Yeah, I think so. That's a very tough situation to try to push into. I think this rush needs to be abandoned and probably is a good time to get a second town center behind this.
Yeah, he right now pretty much needs to make sure that the Ra doesn't take a second TC and forces him into something that he wasn't aiming for 1 TC heroic. I'm thinking that wasn't the plan.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
764.
Now, there's only 2 docks for 022, which is putting him at a disadvantage in terms of how much income he's getting from the fish.
Well, that's actually going to be a bit of a fight on the water, it seems like, in the top corner. As Red has just arrived next to Blue, but Blue apparently finished with his boats
Now, the
in
land
time.
units trying to assist this are going to be a pretty big deal, but more ships are going to be needed to really put the pressure there because of the 2 docks and the potential garrisoning that can be done there.
I'm thinking that what actually Red might be, what Red might be right now doing is attempting to basically make 764 spend a bit more resources into the water than he can actually afford in defense of the land. And actually make him underestimate the attack from the land. And that might be really working in the long run. Because even though the tower next to the gold is going to be preventing any kind of significant trading, still the Thomas are going to be there. And we don't see even barracks being built. Right now it's just going to be armor into faster heroic.
Yep, that's definitely the plan here. And I'm gonna get up the... Yep, that's definitely fast heroic now. Very nice hold on the water as well. Like, basically no damage was done. And that has cost a lot of biremes to try to put that pressure on. And instead, I'm pretty sure that the Kronos could have expanded, but because he hasn't, now the Ra player has a chance to cut ahead with tech.
Yeah, on the water it seems like that actually Red will be able to somehow hold it right next to his base. I've already checked the economy of both, and they are both having actually poor sustain for the upgrades, as the rock on the left seems to be coming down without all that much of opposition, which will of course make the economy quite inefficient for Blue, but still he should be getting the heroic quite fine. He already is advancing, right? Yes, he's getting through Hathor.
Yep. The one advantage that our Kronos player has is hand axe, but it's not going to mean too much at the moment. But picking off these villagers and making them move away is a pretty big deal. Now, if he can get right on top of those laborers as they move out, that could be huge.
Yeah, right
He's
now
basically keeping tabs.
The second gold mine seems to be basically the one at the back, but unfortunately for Blue, it's both not protected and it's behind the tree line, so any escape from there is going to be quite tricky. So it's definitely not something that you would be all that happy about that map. He might be just dropping a Midgard there. Yeah, he exactly is.
That's a pretty good timing for the Valor. He could technically be picking off that rock, as well as the Pitsukos.
Yeah.
The villagers are forced to fight. Going for no barracks units is actually a pretty big deal here. It could be a game-ending mistake.
Yeah, it definitely
based on how the Thomas do.
Right now, he at least managed to get a Shebit Pharaoh to empower the Midgard, which is something that he definitely needed to do, because without the empower it takes quite a lot longer than normal.
That was actually very nice, with the villagers buying so much time. and almost none of them dying, they can now really get going on that gold mine and give our Ra player the income he needs. And there come the cavalry, which are going to counter these turbo really hard.
Yeah, most definitely. That has just basically shown how actually weak Turmas are right now. Of course, the construction, but he will have the Migdol yet again pretty soon. Even though this might actually be a bit more problem than it was just a bit before, because the Pharaoh is already dead, if I see things correctly.
That's right.
And this might be getting a bit tricky, especially. Oh, he might be sending a few of the boats in there actually to help. This might be just in range. Just in range in there. He's even in the top corner there.
I'm not sure. Like the Atlantean boats have less range.
But
oh
still,
no, it's all 12. Sorry.
Yeah, right now
but
it's.
But yeah, I don't think that's 12 range. But yeah, it comes up anyway, and this attack is repelled for now. But it can still harass the villagers as long as he's willing to take the arrow shots. Now it will all depend on how many cavalry he can get out there. Yeah, a lot of villagers have fallen.
Already some more minerals are coming up to actually help at least a bit defend. At this point, I'm thinking that basically Turmas are kind of like trash units. If we can kill villages with them and they die in the process, I think that's worth it. Because of course,
definitely worth to sacrifice them for that, yeah.
Because his opponent is running out of the gold inside his base right now, going for double barracks in there, and he doesn't have really anything else. He would have to move somewhere in the front, which would be definitely unsafe for him. So this is like his last bastion, but with the fast building of the cavalry right now, the numbers are getting kind of out of hand.
Yeah. Now, Kronos has been looking to get this third TC up, but he actually chose to not do that and get an armory and probably go heroic. He is completely housed now because there's no more manners to make. So yeah, like you said, sacrificing this army is just giving him the opportunity to get rid of the trash units.
Yeah, and he needs to do that exactly as I say. He needs to get rid of them literally, because he needs to replace them with something a whole lot better. If he's caught in an engagement of the cavalry and same number of Turmas, he's just gonna lose horribly. So
this is looking worse and worse for Kronos. He has to get to that heroic age, and he's doing so now. He's choosing Hyperion, which could be pretty useful actually.
Already even coming for Polo, so he's expecting that he's gonna lose the water apparently sometime soon. Even though he does, he is actually having quite a lot of farms already prepared for the land economy. So actually, this eco might be pretty strong at this stage.
I'm guessing that he just wants to go very food heavy. Probably a lot of Cantarii or potential. Yeah, a lot of Cantarii are gonna happen. There's 3 military barracks right now. He's also upgrading medium infantry.
That's kind of strange against all those schemos. Would be thinking, but if he is the one who is actually setting the tempo, therefore he is the one running around, and Blue is actually chasing him, then it could be definitely well worth it, because he's gonna be getting better economy. Right now, move on the TC from 764.
Okay, it's not gonna be any Cantarii because there's, I guess, just too much anti-cavalry. But there's going to be a lot of Myrmidons, and Chaos is being used, which is obviously great on this, reducing those cavalry numbers a bit.
Yeah, exactly. That worked quite nicely for him. Right now, Turmas coming from the back, definitely not gonna do anything significant. And he's even switching into a few catapulties in there. Catapulties in there, with Palace finally coming up in the middle. And that's quite close by to the town center to produce dangerous destroyers. It's actually well played right now by Red, but he just needs to survive. Few extra seconds right now in here to actually put the palace up, because so far it doesn't seem so.
The Turma, they're looping around, going after the villagers, just sacrificing themselves to get those kills. Really nice move there. It could be a crippling blow to the economy of 764.
87. Yeah, that's definitely nicely moved. Nice move by him. Nice move by Red. And
so 9 of the villagers have been garrisoned, so actually the losses were much less than they could have been. Meanwhile, the fishing ships are going to be picked off though by this single bireme. How annoying is that?
Yeah, it seems like that right now 764 is a bit of a problem, actually being all across the map, because Red kinda is. as he's running, or rather running everywhere. And he's finally finished with the palace, which is going to be pretty important for him. That's actually going to be the unit of choice for him, destroyers, yeah, exactly what he needs
There's
to
also
do.
a lot of Arcus joining the fray, preparing against the Axemen that have
nice
been.
locust at the bottom.
Yeah, that's a really good Locust Swarm, but also a really nice garrison. Nothing will be lost here.
Yeah, it seems
except
like...
mining time.
Yeah, except mining time. But at this stage, actually, the mining time is not that bad, because if you force your opponent, he was having basically all villages, like 7 or 8 citizens on the goal. If you make him not gather gold for like even a half minute, it's well worth it at this stage.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you want to be splitting up your miners so that you don't get hit so hard, which hasn't happened here. But luckily enough for our Kronos player, he's had a pretty big resource bank already, so the hit to his economy wasn't that brutal right now. As well as the raid is really huge there, so many villagers going down.
Yeah, it's definitely nicely played in there. He's still continuing with the gold, and right now he's going to be attempting to steal the front DC from the blue one. And I think that's actually more than any kind of population limit. He needs to do it to basically prevent movement on the gold on the left. Because if he can prevent that, he already controls the gold on the right.
Actually, villager production has stopped for 022, which could be indicating that he wants to go mythic. He already's got the market. So it should be just a matter of moments until he has the resources.
Maybe already on the pop limit, because he's having 3 TCs for some time already. So he may be already on pop. We are at 60 minutes.
He's popped.
So that's that. And the game so far looks definitely quite nice for him. Even though right now Blue has just defended the attack on different DC. I'm not exactly expecting him to be lasting much longer.
Our Ra player is getting quite a few nice pickoffs because some of the red army wasn't fighting. That's obviously something that can help him regain some ground on this. But yeah, those villagers are finding the TC and are actually battering it down. Wow.
That's quite unfortunate right now by 0-0-2-2. You definitely should have sent at least a few units in there, I think, in. Because right now
it was quite close.
He will have to move with army in there. He already is with some Arca and whatnot. 15 cents with army on top of that. Which is... well... not sure. Because right now, of course, he might be securing the TC. But
that's gonna be tough. He'll have to do a lot of garrisoning micro with those siege towers. And the Pharaoh is actually walking off. Yeah, this is actually... I'm not sure if our Ra player can stay here.
Much more importantly, what it actually meant that he took a bunch of army from the right battlefield where he was already having kind of struggles, staying so-so.
Exactly, now the TC is completely exposed, there's nothing to defend it, the only 2 units left are falling, and there's now the Pharaoh, and that's it. Mercenaries have to be produced, but there's too little gold income to really support that. There's still no market. Well, it's being made, but the gold mine is about to expire very soon. And no map control is in place to get a new one. In fact, even if he did, the next gold mine is being gathered from by a Kronos player, who is also flooding units into this TC.
Yeah, right now a very interesting battle right next to the front of Ra on the left side. Just managed to actually stop it. 0-2-2. Almost looked like that he could be coming up. At the last moment actually was able to stop it, which is actually a pretty significant victory for him. Because not only didn't he allow the 30C, but he also made quite a good number of blue villages to actually do nothing for a significant amount of time. Right now, Atlas already in. Wow.
Ooh, that could be pretty big when he uses Implode.
Oh, I would be even thinking on maybe using it on the villages on the gold.
Yeah.
That actually might not be the bad idea in there. But he will have to somehow...
he's using it on the main army and is putting his own army away. Smart choice, of course.
Unfortunately, it's not really that strong against buildings, but let's see if he's gonna get lucky.
Maybe the army is gonna die, pretty much. Except like those 2 units. A TC is almost down, and if he just gets a fire siphon in or 2, he should be able to take the TC.
Well, at DC at 650, he could be just sending the few destroyers, the about 2 or 3 that he has, that should be it. Because right now he needs to send a ton of villagers to repair it. You can already see basically the Exodus coming from the finished gold. Right now coming forward. So the TC right there. But the TC on the left here again being captured by the red player.
And that's it for the gold.
That seems to be it, exactly.
Our raw player is broke. All those villagers are being pulled right now, trying to fight off desperately in an attempt to gain some ground and get into that gold mine. But as soon as the palace is gonna start pew-pewing at them, I don't know whether he wants to stay here. This seems like an unbreakable position.
And unfortunately, he doesn't have even skin of the rhino. So they are not even stronger than they could be.
Oh man.
Definitely not great. So this doesn't look really all that great. Even though Blue has used the opportunity and the time to get fishing boats basically all across the map. As you can see, he's across half the map, which might be the bulk of his economy right now. But without the gold, yeah, he's just gonna be toast.
That's the only thing he's got going for him, and he's not using the food for a market for a trade, which, yeah, leaves him without gold. And like I said, the other gold mine that's close to him is being gathered from by our Kronos player. There's really no room for expanding to a gold mine, and in the same moment the TC is falling, and yeah, there's the resign. GG is called.
There we go. So that was probably unexpected that the Kronos would be winning, but it has to be said, he played really well. Even though the crash failed quite a lot, has to be said, he was able to switch his strategy enough. And 764, well, simply wasn't able to secure the next gold mine that he needed next to the town centers.
Yeah, it was very nice pressure, very nice analysis on the map to keep up this forward gold mine pressure, and it really paid off.
Alright, so looking into the post game, we are probably going to be seeing much of it won by the red player, because he was having everything: map control, economy, town centers, really everything. So it's basically for the whole duration of the game, it looked like that Blue was coming from behind. But with the Chemos coming up, he definitely had a chance in there. Maybe he just, I don't know, maybe he just thought that he could be waiting a bit and missed the moment where he was having a chance to actually somehow get the TC fast enough against the red player before the red was established well enough to defend.
Yeah, definitely. I do need to go away for one moment, but okay. I'll be right back.
Alright then, GG.